have it. So we believe in storytelling. And I was one of the kids who really, really look forward to storytelling. And I will make sure my grandma tells me that story. But the thing is, those days when you're living with your grandparents, they make sure you worked for the story time. So like washing the dishes, doing all the things that you need to do in order to sit down and watch the and listen to the story. She would tell you like, braid my hair or get me that phone or get not phone but get me that food or wash the dishes, clean the house, wash my clothes. I will work for story, okay? And one of the most story that stuck with me since I was 14 was the story of this lady who was really mean. I mean, she was beautiful. She was from a wealthy family. She has everything, but she was still mean. And she would say something like, once she get married, she want to get married to somebody who does not have mouth, and she want to marry to somebody who can't eat, like who does not have a mouth. That way, when she cook her food, she would eat it by herself, and she would not have a lot of argument with somebody. So she just wanted that person who will be there for will be there as a statue, because basically it's a statue, but somebody present in her house. And it happened to be like every man that came her way to marry her, she would be like, no, I don't want that person because that person has mouth. Who will marry somebody without mouth? So the news spread in the town, all over in a village, that there's this beautiful lady who wants to marry, but she wants to marry to somebody who does not have a mouth. And every single person who is born with a mouth. Of course, you need a mouth, right? So once the news went, it got to a magical serial, and this guy, he magically make his mouth disappear, you know and he went, that was his magic power. So he went to this girl to marry her. And when she saw this handsome guy there, like laid by, shoulder rod, he just like walking towards her, she was like, oh, God has answered my prayers. And she immediately told her parents that she was going to marry this guy. And she married the guy. They were in her house. She cooked. She celebrated. She cooked a lot of food. Like, I have so many dishes that you would think people are coming to celebrate with them, but she was celebrating by herself. And she couldn't eat all the food. So when she went to bed, the magical man has his mouth in his hair, in the middle of his hair. So he took all the food that she left. He put it in his head, and it went straight to his stomach, so he was full. And when they wake up in the morning, the lady was still celebrating, hoping to go in the kitchen and get her food and eat in front of her husband. But then the food disappeared. And she started like complaining and complaining, and looked at the man. She can't ask her husband, right? Because he can't talk. He doesn't have a mouth. So he just looked at him. He just sat there and just looked at her. And he turned around, and she turned around like, I don't know why, what happened. So it repeatedly happened for 3 months. And then she got so angry, she went to another seer, advanced seer, to see what's going on, who eating her food in the house, because her husband doesn't have any mouth. And then the seer was like, your husband is a seer and he has a mouth in his head. And the moral of the story was basically teaching. It was a form of teaching that you can't be so mean to that extent. You should be a giver. And that applies to how African people educate their kids during those days, where there was no cell phone, there was no TV for them. They bring all the ideas that they have inherited from their forefather and bring it to you. So in order to tell you that it is not okay to be very selfish to other people, they bring it in the form of story. So I just want to tell you, like, that was my story.